he had already 2 before that.
Trying to catch up to me.
How many you got?
I got 6.
6, okay.
I had, I just had one. He's 1, so I had one like I guess a year ago. And
I was trying to get a team.
6. I'm trying to catch. I'm halfway through my dad. I'm the oldest at 13. So.
Your oldest is 13?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah,
wait till high school.
Trying to catch up to my dad. So.
How many
Actually, now we was
How many your dad had?
My dad. I'm the oldest of 13. My dad had 13.
13.
Oh, 13.
He understood 13 years old.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Because I said, what's your oldest? He was like 13.
Oh no, my oldest?
Yeah.
He's gonna be 26 next week.
Oh.
This week coming up.
No, he's...
So I got a 26.
Oldest of the 13.
18, she's gonna be 19. 15, about to be 16 the day after the 26-year-old.
Oh, yeah.
Then the 11-year-old, well 10, about to be 11, and the 5-year-old, then the 1. And then a grandson, he's 8.
Damn,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
You've been doing it.
Yeah, so I'm retired though. I told my wife, she gets pregnant, I'm taking Jesus to court. Ain't no miracle baby.
No.
Because she can't have babies, so she have a baby, I'm taking Jesus to court.
Well, what up? We at Studio 59, your boy Adekusu with Kunish, and today we got a special guest, Danny. Introduce yourself.
I go by Disky, aka D, aka that dude. Nah. I just go by Disky.
Iski Productions, man. First studio produced mixtape was with you that I did.
That was actually my first mixtape because I did a couple of albums and some singles before you, but that was my first mixtape.
That was like what, 10 years ago, right?
It was more. I think when we looked at it, it was like what, 13 when I.
13 years.
I think it was 13 because we did 2.
When we started,
We did 2
2009
mixtapes.
or?
Yeah, I want to say it was like 14 years. I know I texted to you. Remember, I was like, wow, and I was looking at my old email. I'm like, man, was it longer? Then I checked the files. I was like, shit, we've been messing around for like 14 years.
Yeah.
So how'd y'all meet? How'd y'all end up
One of the
meeting?
longest relationships, friendships that I've had.
Yeah, so the way we met, we were, of course, in the military.
Yeah.
So he was hanging around with my boy, rest in peace, Kane, Terrence Kane. And he was like, yeah, you gotta hear this kid. I was like, well, he raps? I was like, all right. And then he was telling me, he was like, he's Hispanic. I'm like, oh, cool. Then I could do, I've been dying to do like some local Spanish stuff because like my cousin does it in DR, but now he does them both. But he did like one track for me. Like I sent him the beat. He's in the back. I mixed this in the back, and that was the only one I've done. And I was dying. And then when you came over, I think the first one we did. No, we did a few mixed singles, but it was in Spanish. And I was like, okay, he raps. I thought he was gonna be like a reggaeton. Hey, that was everybody was doing the whole reggaeton thing, and it was cool. And from there, it was on.
Yeah, we did link up after that because I remember I went to the studio. I was like, all right, let me check it out and stuff. And then, like you said, we did the first singles in Spanish.
Yeah, it was Hosea.
Yeah, because at that time I was doing Spanish shows, so I was like, let me at least record some of these tracks. And then we like, you told me it was like you should do a mixtape, and I was like, all right, let's do it, because I already had a few tracks that I had done, and then you gave me some beats.
That's because that's when you never did like the whole mixtape project.
Well, I never recorded.
You never did. You just did like singles.
You know what's funny? I have right here. This is I don't know if you saw this. This is our studio session right here. Let me see if I click on it.
I've never seen the video. I seen the picture that he took.
Oh, this is in the video. And what's crazy, I always wanted to finish this. And I told you I wanted to finish this this song. And this is the only one that we never finished.
Play it? I can't remember.
Let me see. My signal's weak.
No, probably the Wi-Fi. He needs Wi-Fi.
But do you have your phone? You might be able to play on your phone because I sent it to you.
Which one was it called?
I sent it to you. What date is this? Oh shit, July 11th, last year. I sent it to you. It's on YouTube.
To which email you sent it to?
Oh no, to your phone.
Oh, message.
To your message. Did you get a new phone since then?
This year?
Since July, yeah.
Oh, this year? No, she had
it was this year, July.
Yeah.
Or just connect to the Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
and the password.
No, it's the Poesía Lírica.
No. It was the video. It was a YouTube video. So it was. If you look at July 11th at 5:10 p.m., we were going back and forth. We were talking about.
So July 11, I got the cover. It had to be before that.
You gotta see that. That's how we hooked up. That's it. That's your brother. That's your brother right there.
Let
me see.
Paquito.
Let me see.
But that's him right there in the studio.
Yeah, I seen this because he used one of the.
So
clips
that's
in
the
one
song
of the
that
videos.
we never finished.
Oh yeah.
That's the song we never finished. And it's crazy because it was one of those beats. I was like, I don't know if it's gonna fit, but the lyrics and everything, I was like, man, it fits perfect.
Man, you look real thuggish on this one. Man.
I was.
Back in the day,
That's why they thought I
back in
was
the day, it
wild.
was so baggy the clothes.
Yeah, he was willing to fit it. Like,
still-
he's still on. He's still
Look at
willing to fit it.
Same one too. I was thugged out back in the day, man.
Oh man, I remember that day too. We kept having an issue with the mic.
Yeah.
So the issue with that, so back in the day, Fruity Loops was horrible.
Oh, yeah.
It had the only delay. Like now it's great, but man, we were just having problems. It was a constant.
Because that's when it just came out. Like,
No, that one was. I want to say it was Fruity Loop. I think 7.
7, yeah.
That was 7. And prior to that, the first one I had was Fruity Loop 4.
the first one you ever
The
heard.
first one.
Yeah, we definitely need to finish that one. Dude.
But if you go forward, you can hear the melody and you can hear him on it. Go ahead, I think it might be there. No, keep going. Right now.
Yeah, because I remember this studio. I remember the picture he took of this one.
Yeah, that used to be my card. Now I gotta change it. So I ain't gonna put my address no more. It's selected. So I used to put my address in the thing, but I didn't care.
At that time,
But
yeah.
so now it's just selected. Yeah. But it was crazy, and as a matter of fact, that's what I was looking. So I thought that one was 8 years ago. And when we did this mixtape, we did it in 2011. So this mixtape,
But I know
yeah.
we started in like 2009.
Correct.
The dates and the emails that we sent back and forth, like it was around 2009.
So this is I don't want to say underground. I guess your what's the word I want to look for? That mixtape, the forgotten, the lost tapes.
Oh, yeah.
Is this right here? Point of no return. When I saw, it, I'm like, wait a minute, we did a mixtape before, and I was looking at. So that's when I sent it to you.
The English, all English.
Correct.
Because I did the Yerba Mala, so we had English and Spanish.
So since 2009, that's when I saw. So it was since 2009. That's when we've been clicking since 2009.
A minute, man.
Yeah, which is crazy, man. It just and so it's funny. So I heard you say, you asked the first guy that you had. Y'all were talking about top 5.
Oh, the top 5
of 2000. I guess your top 5 last year.
Just you, like the top 5 that you listen to, not like top 5 of all time.
Well, like an example, because I know for that one you said last year. Then your boy, you
For
said
me,
for
because you heard him stumble. He was like,
yeah, he's
because the way he asked,
I
like,
thought it was a red cup. It was a red cup.
I said,
It was a
what's
red
your
cup.
top 5 artists of 2019?
Of 2019,
And
yeah.
he was like, the ones that influenced me? I was like, no.
no, that's why I asked. I had to be, was you asking me as an artist or
I
as
think it
me
was a
in
red
general?
cup.
Nah,
That was a red cup. That was a red cup.
Yeah. So, what's your top 5?
So the top 5 for me last year, number 1 was is Kevin Gate.
Okay.
Number 2 is Shensia. She does reggae.
Okay.
Number 3, which is weird, El Herenal.
Oh,
So I've been actually listening. Last year I listened.
Old school.
So last year I've been listening to a lot because I
Well, I
told
can
you.
see for your second one that you picked that you would find it hidden. I think.
Yeah, correct. But I told you that there's a project that I'm working for you.
Mm-hmm.
That is gonna have to be a mixtape unless we go out and try to get the rights for it. But it has to be a mixtape
Yeah.
because I ain't trying to be like, hey, how much for this?
Right.
For you to clear this.
Because that's
But-
old school too, and I'm
yeah,
sure
that's
like,
really.
samples for those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. But after that, then the crazy thing is Young Thug, and not for his music, for his
beats,
just creativity.
His production.
Well,
That's
the way
the second time he's on somebody's
from,
top 5.
from melody, the way he does his melody to just the way he composes music. Like I'm talking about, like I listen to Young Thug, what he did for Quality Music,
Yeah.
and also for which is crazy, Lil Yachty. Like I heard a lot of his. I'm like, man, this dude is really good. And I'm like, man, let me keep listening.
Yeah, he does good production. Like I told the last guy too, he was like, I like his cadences, man. The way his flows and just his cadences, like they're crazy.
I just don't like his clothes.
Oh,
But besides that, style ain't nothing, because we had crazy style.
To me,
Baggy.
right? Better version of Lil Wayne.
Young Thug?
Yes.
I agree. I'm not.
I don't agree.
That's why I said
I wasn't really like a huge fan of Lil Wayne, so.
Because so Lil Wayne, it's just like I know people used to write for him early. You know, like Gilly the Kid, he wrote for him almost to
he was
Carter
a kid.
3.
He was like what, 12?
No, almost to Carter 3.
Yeah.
Like Carter 1, Carter 2, Carter 3. He wrote a lot of stuff for him up to that point. And that's when they started beefing and, they separated and stuff. So that's why Carter 4, Carter 5, they sound completely different.
Oh, 5. There's probably a few songs. I was telling my wife that I was playing
right? It was very disappointing.
It was very...
I feel like...
Well, I think that he took his... If it's correct that he did that a long time ago, I think he didn't push out those tracks. Because Carter 5 is not old school. It's too modern. And it's not... It was definitely for me, but it's too modern.
Yeah, I don't think I think he recorded that one finally. I feel like it was a whole like they tried to do a whole scheme. You know what I'm saying? They were like, "Oh, we're holding it," but really never had it. And then
I think he did.
They were trying to do some marketing shit. I feel like that's what they did.
I think he probably had some stuff that he did with Birdman,
That's
and
what I
he
was
just
gonna say,
didn't want to make. He didn't want to make him money.
Yeah.
So
I felt like there was that too.
Yeah.
Like the whole issue with them.
Yeah, but
And that was the last one he needed to release to get out of the contract.
So I can understand why he wouldn't want to like make a lot of money.
Because that's like I wasn't expecting it. Because I was like to me Carter 3 is the best one to me. After Carter 3, I didn't really fuck with Carter 4 like that either. So.
Once his dress started going left field.
Yeah. And that's how I was like, I hope that doesn't happen the day that Dr. Dre releases the Detox album. Like when he finally, because that's another one too. They was like, oh, we're going to make him release it. He's going to release it. And they've been talking that for like almost 10 years.
I think what he's going to do is probably... If he goes broke, I doubt it. Or if he passed away, I think they'll probably release it.
But he just became a billionaire.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. He holding it back. He's like, I'm gonna save it.
But it's just like that Wu-Tang Clan. That one album they sold.
So it's funny that you said to that billionaire, whatever, that went to jail.
Yeah.
So the court took that away from him.
Yeah.
So
now it's like
it might
nobody.
Drop. No, it might drop. So I think they give it back.
Think like if he drops it, you think like by the time he drops it that nobody's gonna really fuck with it because. It's like past this.
It's Dre. Now the music, the content, but it's one of those things that we're in a time that the beats is what makes the stuff.
But the thing is, okay, so even with what I do believe he gonna drop it one day, just because you seen the documentary.
He mentions it, yeah.
Not even that. I mean, they recorded for 10 years. And released the documentary, so they actually did it.
They have the records of this.
So in that whole documentary, they got footage of like 10 years. Since
Plus, if you think about it,
and they made money in that. That's what I'm saying. I feel like that's why Eminem's still at the top because there's some marketing geniuses when it comes to just.
Jimmy Iovine.
Well, it's funny you say Eminem because so he made. Eminem, he produced Eminem's first album, so he's making a killing of the residual from that.
Just the first 3,
and those were classics.
And they're all classics. Slim Shady, Marshall Mathers, and Eminem.
Yeah.
Like those 3 are his classic.
Yeah.
And after that, Encore. I like Encore.
Encore was good.
I think where I started losing him was like Relapse.
Well, it was different. You could tell that he was in the same. You could hear it. You could tell.
Yeah, and the voice is it kills me.
Yeah, that he's
so switch up the voice in Relapse. That whole that's the voice. Lyrically, he's still there.
So think about Kamikaze.
Kamikaze was good.
It was good.
How about the new one?
It just came out.
Oh,
I've been listening to it all day.
My favorite one is was it Still? Is it Still?
Will.
That's my number 2.
Is it Still?
Yeah,
Will.
I will.
The last one.
Yeah, it's the Royce the 5 where it's Slaughterhouse.
You gonna learn? I like
without Joe Budden.
You gonna learn? I like that. Marsh.
Yeah. The crazy thing, so I like Step That because that's classic Eminem. Just like Dark Side.
Your mom cleaned out the closet.
Yeah.
So that's like classic Eminem.
I like how you did the little skits too, like because that brought back like his old school ways.
Yeah.
But it's a trend because he did the Marshall Mathers LP too. Mm-hmm. So I knew because I told him before, I was like, the next one is gonna be Slim Shady, and that's what it is. That's the Slim Shady LP.
I don't like the one he got with maybe just because I don't like her part.
Young Ma.
Yeah, Young M.A.'s part.
She surprised me.
Yeah, her part is awful. Like I just maybe it's good, but it's just.
I think for her generation.
But you could tell they were in two different places because when his beat comes in, like basically when his right before his turn, you could hear like a switch in the beat.
Yeah.
And it's still the same beat, so it's like somebody just recorded in this studio and then put it in a better studio. So
that's crazy because you're a producer and everything. You were able to like catch stuff like that.
Yeah, you could hear like, oh, that's like Nicki Minaj's last album. There's a lot of producer errors in that one. Every time I hear it, I'm like, and because her album was when I heard your mixtape. She was the one.
Something that was like
So in her album, she did something that I've never seen before, where she does this little clip at the end of the song, and she only did maybe about 3 or 4 songs where it's just a small clip.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing about it is those small clips were freaking like they were tight. They were on fire. I'm like, man, she should have dropped this as a song. But it was just short. Maybe I think the longest one was like 1:23 or 32 seconds. Yeah. And I'm like, wow. So when I heard yours, I was like, man, that's what I told him. Like, hey, you gotta make that to a song. And I was like,
the one the which mixtape was this? Dark Days.
I think it was Dark Days. It wasn't Dark Days. It was the one because it was the then what's that song called?
Let me just pull it up.
I think it is Dark Days.
No,
because you changed the song to.
It's like after Ghost or something.
So it's funny.
I remember what he's talking about. It's the one with like 2 songs.
Yeah, I know what he's talking about.
So when it comes to that, which is funny,
Karma and Drip.
No,
Drip.
It's not Drip.
It was Drip. It was Drip.
Yeah, Drip.
It was Drip. That was it. It was Drip. That's.
I don't call it Drip, but
and the other one you called it something else. You called it what you called it? You called it because it's the song that's after it. Because it was 2 songs.
Maybe Moon Faces. I think it's Moon Faces.
It is Moonface.
Yeah, Karma Interlude.
Because it's dripping like raw.
Yeah, it's
called it Karma Interlude. This one.
Correct.
Yeah, Moonface.
Correct. And both of them, when I heard it, I kept listening to them. I'm like. And the crazy thing about that is, so I told you 4, and I'm not saying this because I'm here, but 5th is you, and I told you this. Like, the only reason I go to Facebook is to see if you drop something. Because it's like motivation. Just like when I saw the podcast, I'm like, damn it. Because I told you I had plans for a podcast, and I told my wife, I said, like, man, he beat me to it. And it's just the only reason we haven't done our podcast is because the studio is done, but the room before the studio is a mess because everything that I work is right there. So I got to clear it up because I don't want to bring people into kind of like, hey, junk it and then open the door like, oh man, this looks nice, you know. But yeah, so like I literally listen to almost everything that you put out like probably 1,000 times. Like whenever I do my podcast, you're gonna see like the mixing that I do. So the way I'm gonna do my podcast, you know, is for artists.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to bring back like an old school, and I'm saying this, so if you want to do this, hey, fine. I'm not for it, like, oh man, you take it. I want to be like, which is funny, because y'all mentioned it, Uncle Murder and
Skills.
Oh,
and
yeah,
Skills,
that says that
which I guess, I don't know if you listening to that. You know Skills dissed them back.
Yeah, I heard it.
Yeah.
Because, okay, so this was like, I want to say 2-3 years ago when this happened. When did this happen?
Correct.
But now Uncle Murder does it yearly, and Skills still do it.
Yeah, but I still think Skills is better than
I fucks with Skill more than Uncle Murder, because Uncle Murder, I don't like his flow. You know what I'm saying? His flow to me is not. And then the rhyming either.
He just, you know what it is? It just, he Brooklyn did. That's the only way I could describe it.
Yeah, that's the only thing he did. New York style and shit like that. But Skills always did his thing when he did it, because that was like it's a go-to at the end of the year. So I won't come back to you and be like, yo, come up with a diss track like, yo, he bit my podcast. But so we go first.
No. As far as so the way mine is, because yours is more of
it's more broader
a conversation. Mine is more of a
interview.
Not an interview. It's more of a showcase.
Okay, so
mine's going to be
the artist.
Correct, because it's something like I mentioned. Virginia is awful. Yeah. They don't support each other.
They don't.
And I got a boy who goes by Rome, and he does. I don't want to say a podcast, but he does Facebook Live. So he's always talking about whether his group or whatever it is, but he mentions that. There's no support. And he'd be like, man, I'm trying to mess with, I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do that, but nobody wants to meet. And it's true. And it's just like something I think y'all mentioned where you have, basically, when it comes to people, because y'all were talking about the whole Hawaii thing and payment. When it comes to hip hop in Virginia, people are stingy. Yeah. Because you'd be like, hey, look, we could do a studio session, $25 an hour or $135 a pack. You'd be like, man, can I get it for $50?
That's the thing. It's like, it's just, you can't even set a fixed price because they always want to bargain. And it's like, man, the quality. You know what I'm saying? I can understand if it's just a shitty studio. Like, fuck it. Yeah. But even then, like, they always try to find.
But what hurts is kind of like family, because you see my Facebook when I post up music. I support my friends. I listen to the stuff. I tell them, I critique. I tell you just like I tell you. I tell my friends, be like, hey, this was good. This was not. Hey, that's a fire. And I support. Whether it's a mixtape, an album. I only have one friend that that's selling an album, and that's why I told you. I said, man, you might want to put an album just to test it out, just to see. Not so much to see how you do, but to see your true friends, your true fans. Because you'd be surprised, people go out there and be like, an example, they probably bought the Eminem, Jay-Z, or somebody they actually don't know. But when it comes to friends, they just don't want to.
Especially, like I said, here in Virginia, your friends is the first one not to buy your shit.
Yeah. But they want it free. They're like,
once you make it, that's why I say some of that in my rhymes a lot of times. Like I have a song like that already out. Like where I'm like, oh, they gonna come at you once you make it. That's when they'll reach out. Yeah. I'm just like, oh, they'll start liking all your stuff. I'm like, oh, I know him. Like, no, you don't. Or I knew him. Or oh man, I was just with him. Like, no, you wasn't.
So it's funny you say that. So that's what made me stop posting beats. I used to post beats weekly on Facebook, and it was just like, hey, tell me what y'all think. Man, nothing, no comment or nothing. I'm like, what y'all think? Nothing. I'm like, damn. I'm like, not even one. Like, hey, that's good. Like I get, I had a few thumbs up, and it's a few family and friends, of course, but like the main one was like, wow. I was like, wow, no support, no nothing. No. So I'm like, okay, and that's why I put some stuff like it. If I make it, don't come there and try to be my friend. Don't come try to support me.
No, you find out your real friends, like the ones who are honest, like how you are to him. Like you critique him, you tell him like this is good, this is what you need to do. You give suggested ideas and stuff like that. I have a boy similar to him. Shout out to Country Carl. I told him to watch this episode because I was like, how you are to me. That's who his person is to Chupaco. So I was like, yo, he was like, oh, okay. So he's definitely like.
Well, he's been like that to me too. Yeah. He became a fan of mine because of him. Like he was like, yo, who was that? He's like, that's my brother. And like ever since then he became a fan. Yeah. Like you and him, like y'all push me. Yeah. He'll tell me something, and I'm like, alright. And then he'll tell me something, and I'm like, alright, shit, I'll do it. Sometimes I've done tracks for you. Like that one, when you told me that one track, it was like, yo, you need to make a whole, like split them up and make them own. I was like, okay, that same day he told me that, I came and wrote that.
Literally, I saw it next, I was like, what? I told my wife, look at this. And it's crazy. So that was inspiring. So that's why I started going. I was like, so one thing I noticed, like when y'all first started doing projects together, and it had kind of like that RZA / Wu-Tang Clan feel to it. It was a lot of the sitar instrument, a little, like I said, sound like Wu-Tang. I was like, man, that sounds pretty good. So I thought, with the pictures and the drawing, and then out of Kutsu, I was like, okay, I see this, and which is crazy because so then, and I was telling him, I was like, all right, he needs some work, and then which mixtape was that? You on one track?
So I was like, yeah, because he did like what you did, like 3 mixtapes. Prior to doing 50/50, because that's what he's talking about.
Oh, prior to 50/50? Yeah, like
you did like 3 mixtapes, right? So yeah, I was like, because I was like, I want you to progress without me. I want you to evolve and become your own style. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, that's why I gave him the name too, because I was like, you need a name.
Yeah, he gave me a name.
Because he didn't have a name either, so I was like, you need a name, something, you know what I'm saying? Because that's how I chose Kunish Shifuku, which is like Japanese and German in a mixture.
I was wondering why that was. I thought maybe it was a girlfriend called you that or something.
Because I like the culture, and just like I'm a fan of Wu-Tang. Like I was like, yeah, like nobody really does that anymore. I was like, and I've always been a fan of Wu-Tang, like since day one. Since I heard them, I was like, yeah. And then I've always been a fan of the Japanese culture and their whole, thing that they do.
The instruments and stuff.
Yeah. So I was like, because I think it was Luke Kane? That was the first one.
Yeah.
And ever since that, I just got hyped with the Japanese, and I would just look for Japanese instrumentals with that sound. I was like, yeah. So I was like, yeah, well, you need a name. So I was like, it just can't be Alex.
So why you chose Arakutsu?
Well, he came up with it, but like he was like, because I like anime, I'm into anime and stuff like that, into like the Japanese culture. So he was like, you like anime?
That's your point of choice.
Well, no. So he was like, you're into anime.
Yeah.
No, not hentai. Oh, no, anime. So he was like, you're into anime. So why don't you do something with Japanese? I was like, so I searched up like Alex in Japanese, and Arikusu popped up, and he was like, yeah. So that's where.
So basically, that's what Alexander would be in Japanese.
Yeah, Arikusu.
Oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, now that flow and I can't remember the track, man. That thing was. I kept listening. I'm like, wait a minute. Is this what? I'm like, what? And it's like you were slowing down and you picked it up. I was like, what? And the way he delivered it, man, I called the first thing I do. I told him like, man, your brother got good. He got really good.
And I told him because I was like I said, he did 3 mixtapes, and I didn't get involved. Like I maybe hopped on 1 or 2 tracks. His whole 3 mixtapes. Yeah. Of each 3 mixtapes, I would have like a 1 or 2. I think the third one is when I was like, okay. Yeah, I see your style progressing, so I hopped on like 3, right?
Yeah, the first one I did, it was just like, I just did whatever I could.
And then the first track, I think the first one was, I gave him one.
Yeah, he gave it to me. Therapy. That's like my best one.
He was going to go on my mixtape and shit. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to let you have this one so you can at least have some. Because he liked that joint, right? But I was going to do it by myself. But he liked it so much.
But I didn't mean to take it from him. He just gave it.
That's what I'm saying.
Because I was like, yo, let me hop on it. And I hopped on it. And he just couldn't give like his verse on it. Because he had a good verses. But he was like, I don't want that verse on there. So, and I was like, that's what
I'm saying. I saw the light in his eyes. He was like, yo, I'll fuss with that shit. I was like, you know what, you can get something.
Yeah, so he's like, if you can do a second verse, it's yours. So I was like, oh, bet.
So I gave it to him, and then that's when he got it, right? So I was like, all right.
Yeah. So my second mixtape, he told me, is like, you need to do hooks, like, because I couldn't do hooks at all. So
yeah, he was just doing verses.
Yeah.
If you notice, like any tracks that I do with him prior to that,
he does most of those. Yeah.
Hooks in a verse. So I was like, you need to learn hooks now. You know what I'm saying? You got the verses down. Now I need you to learn how to do hooks and push you to that. So he started doing that. Third mixtape, the same thing. So then I was like, all right, I need to push him to the next level. So I was like, if you can come up with at least hooks, and I was like, and I'm gonna let you pick all the beats. I was like, if I fucks with the beats and some of your hooks, we'll do a whole together at collaboration and mixtape, which is 50-50. That's why we call it 50-50. Because I was like, you do 50, I do 50. So he did 50% of the hooks, 50% I did, and then the verses. Now the beats, I think I chose 1 beat.
There's like a couple.
No.
There's like 2 beats, because you got one, the last.
That's what I'm saying by myself.
Yeah.
Which is the 7 beat.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the only one I chose. And that was just like
So what's going to be the next project?
I'm working on another one.
A mixtape, boy.
Yeah, a mixtape.
For you, or both of y'all?
No, right now he said he doesn't want to do no more features.
Yeah, I got pushing him again. Yeah, let him like fend for himself.
Yeah. But I gave you a whole mixtape.
Yeah, he did. Great.
But right now I still got one song that he's on that you're on.
Which one is that?
It's Back Again.
Okay, he likes that.
Yeah. But I had already brought the song to him and he hopped on, so then that's the only reason why I'm able to keep that one.
So it's gonna have one feature then?
No, I have other features. Like
for me.
No, that's for you.
For him, it's just him.
Yeah, because he was like, listen, I was like, let me see what I can do. Right? He was like, yeah, you might like this. All right. So
because the What's Next mixtape that I did, that's like right now like everybody's kind of favorite from me. He hopped on it while he was producing it.
Yeah, because he was like, he had like half half finished songs.
But those were kind of those were kind of like
I do that with beats. I start a beat, then my kids come down.
But they're kind of like the excess tentacion or sensation, whatever you want to call it. But like it's kind of his style. You know how like his songs aren't that long.
So yeah, he was like, I'm done with my mixtape. Can you master it for me? And I was like, alright, let me check this shit out. So I started mastering it and stuff. And like the first track, I was like, oh, I like this joint. I was like, hold on, let me see if I can write something to it.
If he could write something, he did.
Did that joint right there on the spot. I was like, all right, that's done. Recorded it.
He said, on to the next one.
On to the next one. I was like, what's your second track? I was like, oh, I fucks with that one too. Yo, wrote another verse. I was like, all right. And the whole day was like that. So I did the whole mixtape in one day.
Yeah.
And I just wrote every verse on that, and then I gave like him. He was bullshitting with the half giving you half. And I was like, let me fuck with his fans too. So that's what and then when I did a half a verse, I was like, fuck this, I'm not doing this shit again and shit. So
and I was like, dang, you can't hop on everyone. And then I was like, there's one track that he's not gonna hop on, and he didn't because it was like my ex-wife, and
yeah. I was like,
he was like, I was like, that's where you gonna stop.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna do that.
You don't want to crossfire.
Yeah, because I was
keep your comment to yourself though.
But yeah, nah, like he hopped on. I was like, dang, I was like, this must have been good because he's hopping them on like he.
Yeah.
So you producing now?
Yeah.
So I guess what's your inspiration?
My inspiration, man, just not being able to have anybody. Like it's hard. Like you say, it's hard to collaborate with people and stuff like that. And even with you and me, like you know what I'm saying, you stay busy, I stay busy too. So it's hard to get with somebody. Just to because sometimes you're inspired and you want to hit the studio and it's like, damn, my producer, busy, or I can't go to the studio or something like that. And so I was like, I gotta learn this, because some days I just be like, I'll hear a beat and I'm like, man, that's fire, and I'll write the whole song,
but I can't
record it, or I can't master it, I can't produce it. I was like, nah, I gotta learn it, and then him too. You know what I'm saying? Just working with him because I have to produce his shit. Mm-hmm. So, and I have to find his sound, his edits and stuff like that. So I was like, yeah, let me get into it.
But you see how nice it is. That's one thing. I love whether it's creating the beat, and then I love mixing it, and I love mastering. But it's all separate. I can't do it all together. Yeah. It's just it's a nightmare altogether. But when you do it separate, it's
that's what I tell him. Cause I be pushing him, right? Cause even his friends says it. I'm like, yo, he'd be like, Chupaco got like so many mixtapes out. Where you at? He's like, yo, he just
gotta catch up.
Yeah.
And then I was like, yeah, like on top of that, all he does is write. Mm-hmm. Does his verses. I'm like, yo, I write, I produce. You know what I'm saying? I master.
I'm starting to get into the producing. I'm starting to.
You know?
Like, I watch, but sometimes he doesn't really, like, tell me. I'm like, dang, how do you do it? So I'm just, like, staring at him and do it. Like, I can produce my own singles. Like, if they're, like, freestyles, I can do that myself. I don't ask him. But, like, when it comes to project, I usually will want to do it by myself just to see how it sounds. But then, like, I have other features. And if he's on there, I was like, I don't want to mess up his vocals or other features.
But that's one thing you're going to see when it's time for an actual album. It's like kind of like a test.
Yeah.
When you can drive good, but when you go on the road and this guy next to you testing, you be like, oh man, you're like, oh, should I go straight? And then you start questioning yourself, and which is it's nerve wracking, but once it's done, man, it's the feeling.
I'm glad you said that because I'm there right now.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, he knows, like I am. To a point. That's why I told him, I was like, yo, next things you do with me, like that's why I was like, no more features for me right now because of that exact point. Like I'll hear it and I'll be producing it and then I'll be like, man, that shit sounds sweet. He was like, no, that shit's fire. And I record my verse and he's like, yo, man, that shit sounds good already. He'll get the draft. You know what I'm saying? He'll do the draft and listen to it. He was like, yo, that shit fire. Like that song he's mentioning, I still feel like I have to re-record it.
Redo it.
Just because I'm at that point right now. Yeah. It's like I can hear it. It's like nah, like I can do it better. And you look and you hear it, and then you're like, nah, I could have done better. And I don't want to do that anymore. I'm to that point where when you listen to your mixtapes and you're like, you go back like, man, I could have done that better. But like you told me, it was like, don't go back and change it because it's not the same.
Yeah, that's my issue, and that's how I got so many remixes. So like your one song, what's the name of that song? The one song that we did, and I did a remix. That was
Let me get your swerve on.
Swerve on.
I like how you
So,
already knew that.
so for Swerve, that was a fun project. So when I did Swerve on, man, I went in there. I got like 18 versions of Swerve on, and that's what kept happening. I kept changing, and the song kept changing. So then one day I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna literally I took out all the drums. Now I'm gonna keep the melody. Let's see if I could remix it. And when I did, I was like, wow. And to this day, that's my favorite thing. And I showed you when I sent it to you, the remix. And it was just because it was old school drums. And I just kept mixing. And I was like, let me throw a little dembow in it. So I threw a little dembow. And it bit per. I was like, wow. I was like, what the hell? Like, you already there. So, and then taking so one thing that I'm good at is like an example. You say you write something, you can't come up with a hook. So I'm good at listening to whatever you wrote, and from what you wrote, turning that to a hook, and I love doing that. So I had one female come by my house, and I was doing it for recording her for a friend. Man, it was like all over. It was like Metal Day all over again, where mic wasn't working, my cable was. But I'm like, damn. And she came from I think like Chicago or something. I felt bad because it was you remember Taylor?
Yeah.
It was his wife. Brought her in, and she go by Angel, and she does R&B, and I always wanted to do an R&B female. I was like, man, let me do. So she had she brought a track, and while I'm trying to fix the stuff, she wrote these lyrics, and it was good. But the only thing is,
there was no hook.
It was no hook. It was the first time I hear R&B song straight with no hook. So it was like you could tell it was missing something because when it comes to R&B, the hook like catch it. So I kept listening. Like after I did what she wanted, I gave it to her, and I kept listening, and when I mean I kept listening, probably maybe like 20 minutes, and she was already gone. It's like, man, you know what? I'm gonna take this portion, and I did it, and I turned it into literally a song, and I remixed the song. It was somebody else's beat. I remixed it, and I sent it to her. I don't know what she did with it, but I was like, it was fun, just like when I make beats like with my kids. Mm-hmm. So my wife in the past, she used to take my son like when he was a baby, record him, and I turned it into a song. The crazy thing, I think the song is called ABC, but the lyrics is Day of the Week. So we turned it into a song. I use his words and his little gesture and turned it into a beat. I was like, man, this is good. So now all of a sudden I'm starting mixing everything. I'm like, man, I think I could take Puff Daddy out, I'm like, hey, I'm turning into a remix king, and I like remixing. So now that's my thing. I go back and remix. That's like my fun. But like I said, my motivation is always, seeing what you put out. Because it's like a drive. Because I tell you, like, I write song, but I don't put it out there. Mm-hmm. And when I do, I change the voice because my voice sounds horrible. I know when I hear this podcast, I'm like, man, I sound like a frog. I sound terrible.
I feel like Crooks kind of needs to I feel like not all his beats have good hooks, like good parts to be where the hook is at. Most of the time I hear it and it's like all verses. I'm like, I can't even tell which part the hook is at.
That's the other producer.
Well, that's old school.
And I was gonna ask you about that. So I'm pretty sure you heard Crooks, right? And you heard his mixtape, the one where it's Crooks in the Kitchen.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Right. So
it's great. So every time I hear that, just like with my boy, so it's motivation. So I hear him like, okay, I don't see it as like, man, my boy didn't go to another producer. I'm like, okay, so I got to step my game up, or I listen. The first thing I did, I went to try to Google. I went to YouTube. I'm like, man, where is he at? Do I see him? I'm like, but no, that's one of those things where I see it as friendly competition.
Yeah.
I don't when it comes to I know I ain't the best. Probably Soulja Boy probably would crush me.
Oh, don't say that.
But
he likes to say that.
He likes sound.
What was that thing you said?
What?
About being a photographer.
Oh,
I'm one of the best.
No, man, he like.
I'm not gonna let that go.
He blew it up. Portion. All I said on Facebook, I was like, I'm not saying I'm the best photographer in Virginia, but I'm one of the best. That's all I said.
I ain't the best, but I'm the best.
Ain't that the same thing?
No, it's not.
I ain't saying I'm gonna kill you, but I'll kill you.
No, but back to my question, what I wanted to ask, like, since you heard, Crooks are the producer and everything, I wanted to get your opinion on what do you think of him, like?
No, it's good. It's just different. It just sounds like it reminds me of old school, because if you hear like an old school beat, just the beat, it's literally repetitive.
Right.
So it's the same. And I have a guy that that I used to work with. His name is Ben, and he hates it when producers like to add stuff to the beat. He just like it straight, just straight. So I can understand some people just like that whole straight. Me as a producer, I like the mixture.
It's crazy that he started off as an EDM.
For real?
Yeah.
Wow.
He was an EDM.
Yeah, so he's from California.
We really got him into the whole hip hop rap, yeah. And
that's
then some Spanish too, because
that's what it was. The whole mixtape was an experiment.
Yeah.
Because he brought him, right? He met him first, and he was like, "Yo, I got this producer."
That's pretty good for him switching on. Like that's pretty good.
So he was like, I'll be pushing. I was like, "Yo, I want this style, and this and that." So that whole mixtape, I did it. We did it in a week.
I'd say like 2 weeks, because that first day we made like 3 songs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because I feel like it was a week. I don't think it was 2 weeks.
I think the mastering part was like 2 weeks.
Yeah, but I'm saying the beats, because he, like I said, he came that day and he was like, "All right, bring him in, let's see what he got and shit." And and I think that was his problem, because again, he hasn't done like hooks.
Yeah.
So for him to hear a whole straight,
he couldn't think.
He couldn't think of a hook, or he was like, "Oh, where the hook go?" So he couldn't do a hook. So that's why that whole mixtape.
I don't have no hook. I have no hook on that.
Yeah, I did everything, all the hooks and stuff, And then I did a couple hooks, and that's the only mixtape I let them guide me a little bit, as far as hooks, because I would do a hook, and I was like, "What y'all think?" But I was trying to cater to both of them. You know what I'm saying? It was like, "Nah, do another one." So I would do another one, and so I was like, "Never again, I'm doing that," because I was like, "You need to learn how to do hooks."
If all you have to do is just listen to it.
Yeah, he's been guiding.
Yeah, no. But I'm saying if you record something and you can't come up with a hook, like let's say if he don't help you with it, just listen to it.
No, because that's exactly what he said.
And something's gonna stick out, and it's gonna be repetitive. You're like, wait a minute, this sounds like a hook. Something will stick out.
He tells me my problem is because I don't listen to the beat, because I would just
no. I'm talking about listen to your words.
As in,
when it comes to beat, and this is one thing I learned from a group, is that just pick an instrument.
Right.
Pick an instrument and stick to that instrument, whether it's the drum, the bass, the piano, the melody.
I told him that.
So
I think he understood
just
that.
stick to it and do the opposite. So if you stick to, like, let's say when you rap, if you hear the drum, then listen to the piano. Like just afterwards, just all you do is just listen to the piano, and then you're gonna see it's something different, or to a different instrument or noise, whatever it is. Just listen to the background. You're like, wait a minute, okay, and then you see it changes. Yeah, it changes. So one thing that I like, it's strange. So like I said, I feel like I can rap, even though I have two hidden tracks, and that was because of you. One was for Bad Boy. So the first beat that he brought to my house,
I'm not a gangster.
I'm a bad. And that one I did a remix. So I did a remix of that, and I kept playing. I was like, what? And next, I started writing, and I was like, wait. So I put it out there, and the lyrics is good, but I like my voice. I'm like, nope. And I was gonna send it to you, and I think I played it for you. I think I played the remix.
Maybe the remix.
Yeah, because
that's another one we didn't finish.
Correct. Because we did one, just the first verse. That's right, we didn't finish that because that was supposed to be mixtape.
Yeah, that was for the No Point of No Return.
Correct.
I feel like as a producer, it's more easier for you guys to rap, because you already know where the beat.
But the crazy thing is like my thing is
they overthink it because they're producers.
Well, not so much I do overthink it.
Because that's how Crooks is. Like he started getting into rap because of us too, and it was more easier for him. I was like, dang, you sound natural.
My thing is, like, I could come up with a good, like, I don't want to say sing, because I can't sing, but something like,
like a melody.
Like a melody type.
Yeah.
I could put in, and I lay some stuff out, but I still change my voice. Either put it,
that's how he is.
Slow it down, or pick it up, or I had to speed it up, slow it down, just so you can't recognize my voice.
Yeah, that's how he is, because he was like, his voice, he was like, I feel like I sound better, but like the same issues.
Yeah, as a producer.
But he's seen it because I was like, because I've done 2 songs, right? It was like, yo, what did he do to me? Like, I produce, like, that's what pushed me to producing is both of them. Because, when it comes to producing, to make them sound better, you gotta, like, really, like, fucking tinker, and you gotta do this, you gotta do that, you gotta fuck with the sounds, like all kinds of shit. Like, to me, because I tell them, anytime I go, I'm at a point where I go.
Point of return?
Yeah, point of return. Like, I just, me, like, I'll do a whole verse, and it sounds the same. like I know how to control my voice and my you know breaths and stuff like that. Where they're like you gotta. They'll like back up, or they'll move, or they'll turn
because of the sound.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They still don't know, you know, get to the point where they know how to control their voice. Yeah. So then I gotta really like one part will sound good, but then the other part I gotta put it up.
But you know that's easy. Just put a limiter on it, and that'll help them out. You get a good condenser mic, put a limiter on it, and it will balance the
that's
track.
what I've been doing because that's how they sound.
So what you using to produce?
What's it called?
Logic Pro.
Yeah.
So you even do your mixing there?
Mm-hmm.
I would recommend you. Have you ever messed with Pro Tools?
No.
I recommend Cubase.
I've heard of it. I've seen it, and
I've been thinking about Cubase. I could give you a older version, because now the new version.
I just saw
you need
a new version.
Yeah, right? you got to buy a key for it to work. So once you take it off, you can't use it. So I got to program my other computer that I can't bring to a new computer because I got to buy a whole new key for it. Yeah, that's the way Cubase.
Yeah, Cubase.
But so Cubase has this thing called Wavelab, and Wavelab is strictly for mastering, and that's what actually got.
I've seen it go and it sounds great.
So Wavelab is good, but Cubase is even though Cubase and Wavelab is from the same company, Cubase is the same thing that Wavelab does. The only difference that Wavelab allows you to put, if you got 20 songs, to make it all line up, you know, for you to line it up, and it don't take the space. Like the data, it don't give you that big file.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So it makes the file smaller. But with Cubase, the good thing about Cubase with vocals, especially if you got somebody like trying to like sing on the hook, it allows you to change their melody. Like basically, it allows you to line their vocals to the actual note from the instrument. So you can line it up, and all of a sudden you be like, oh, he on key. Now knowing that,
I know most of them is done in C major.
Correct.
Right. Anytime you get on is 120 C major. You know, and that's where I was.
Oh, mine's all mixed. So you have one that's 160. You have one that, like, I'm old school, so a lot of my beats are like 90 beats.
Oh, okay.
Because when it comes to East Coast style, it's 90 beats.
Yeah.
Now with the new Southern, it's like 160, 165. But with the new Fruity Loops, everything's like 130 now. I'm like, what the hell? But I still change the pitch.
120.
Yeah, and that used to be the main setting was 120, but I don't know why they pick 130.
Yeah, because sometimes I have to change it.
I don't change it. I just whatever's there, I just go in. But they do have kits. And next time you come to my house, I'll show you. And
I know I'm done with C major, and then I fuck with A major sometimes. So that changes too. Like I've done some, you know, the dark voices ones. You heard the ones that do hooks like that.
No, it was pretty good the way you screwed it up. I was like, man, it sounds pretty good. Like really, like I was shocked. I'm like, man, like the quality, everything. Because I listen to it, I'm like, man, it's pretty good.
Like, that's why I work, because I do it and then I change it instead of like not chopping it up. I'll do it like I wanted to sound, and I'll do the vocals regular, and then I'll go do it.
So I don't mean to cut it up because I wanted to ask you this live. Why don't you want to be in the camera?
You're not the first.
Yeah, like why don't you want me in the camera? Like you should be here. Like people need to see you. Like what is he doing? Is it?
Because I like to. So like him, right? He likes to be in the front of the camera.
Yeah, I see it. He just does the whole. He got the.
Exactly. You know me, I'm production. Like I like to be in the background. That's me. That's why I like do underground. That's why.
But you still it's a podcast.
Yeah.
You know the audience want to see you. The audience want to see the face you talking about it. They want to be like, okay, I see expression. He's passionate about it.
But he's creating that mystery where it catches the people.
I see. He want to be that neighbor from what's that show with Tim Allen?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Home Improvement.
Yeah, Home Improvement.
With a neighbor, you can never see his face.
And you
just
see
his
him.
hat.
One episode, you see him.
It was one, yeah, correct. So that's you.
That's what he wants to do. He wants to build it up to one episode.
So yeah, like I like to be in the background because I like to like really get into it, you know. And then like I don't know, I just don't like watching myself sometimes, you know. Because
I don't want to hear myself, you don't want to watch yourself.
You don't want to hear yourself. I don't want to watch myself.
Which is crazy because you take pictures and you be taking some GQ pictures and you don't like seeing yourself.
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying. Exclusive, you know. Because I'm not that type of person. Like you said, once you see me in one picture, like it took a while for me to like even like, all right, let me upload this one. You know what I'm saying? Because I'll take a picture and I'll never upload it. Like even when I go to parties or anything, I'll take pictures and I'll never upload it. And then that's another thing. Just like I don't like people knowing like every freaking moment of my life or just everything that I do. So I'll take a picture that day, and you probably see it like a month later. just like my music. I think it comes from music as well. Because I'll do a song, like one of your friends, Foley, right? He was like, I think I did one track, that one that you like.
Dark Days, doing Dark Days.
Yeah, the one that you like with Lil Wayne hook.
Yeah, that's like 9 years ago.
That was like 9 years ago that I did that track, right? And I was like, I don't feel like, because I wanted to put it on a mixtape, but I just never had the right mixtape to put it in. I did that 9 years ago, and I was like, it's time to release it. So I think I just get that from music too, because I'll do a couple of songs. Like right now, I think I got like about 90 songs that I did already, and I was like, nah, it's not time yet. You know, so I'm kind of like, I always take like Dr. Dre, because I do like, once I got into producing, I do that too. Like Dr. Dre and them, they got so many songs, and you know, Kanye West, JC, they got so many songs, but they never release them until to a certain point.
Swiss Beats, he did that too.
By the way, he was waiting for someone to ask that question too.
Yeah, because the last guy that he was like,
he was gonna ask.
He was like, yo, I wanted to ask you. I was like, you should have done that. I don't mind you asking. You know what I'm saying? I knew somebody was gonna ask, because they've been asking already too, off the, you know.
Yeah, why you want to? Yeah, I was gonna say that. I was like, I'm moving
like,
to a line.
See more than your shoulder.
You gotta put it in line, like, yo, you want to be in the camera. Even on the first one, it was like it was just you, and it was corner. I guess you could tell it was kind of like a booth because it was flat. Because that's how my booth is too. So I was gonna make a big booth, but I was like, nah, just keep it small. So so my new vision, I want to do I want to change. I guess go out of hip hop. I want to try like rock. I want to try to do like
just different genres.
Yeah, different genre. Like I told my wife, because a lot of the songs that we wrote, you know, since she sings, I gotta use her, you know. So I told her I want to do some kind of like a punk rock beat, you know. I have a friend that he plays the harmonica. He's in a band, and one of the beats that I did, one of my favorite ones, has some harmonica in it. And I was like, man, maybe I could get a live guy, just like I had a piano, a guitar for one of the tracks that I did. I had a guy come and play the guitar, and it sounds different. You could hear how better it sounds than, you know, what you make, you know. Looping it up, you know, live instrument sounds really good. So I'm like, man, maybe I should try to, you know, do that. But then I was like, nah, I gotta do something. I want to bring Richmond out, because I agree with what y'all was saying. You know, the only guy that I'm aware of, there might be somebody else, Zulu. Zulu will put out an artist. You know, if you go to the radio, if your stuff sounds good, he'll put you out there. But besides that, especially when it comes to Richmond, there's nothing for artists.
No support, man.
There's no support. And the scary thing, so one thing I'm gonna do was like do a club. Like open a club where people come and showcase, whether it's poetry, whether it's rap, and just showcase.
I've had that idea too. Like one day if I don't be out, because like I said, I don't like to be out there. You know what I'm saying? Like I gave up the fame. Like at one point I was like, hey, this shit ain't worth it. I want to keep that's why I like to be in the background.
It's just we got too many people that hate, and all you need is that one guy start shooting everything, or everything you work for is just
because like I got to a point where I was like elevating and it was going up. I was getting offers and stuff like that, and just to be openers for other artists that were already up there and shit like that. I was like,
so that's what I want to do with my studio. So with my studio, before it used to be Studio D. It was RSR Disky Studio D, but now I'm naming it Fire King Studio. Of course, it's dedicated to Kane, and fire was his thing. He was fire sign. So I spoke to his wife, and I asked for permission. She said yeah, and I dedicated my studio. So it was like Fire King Studio, because he was the reason why I started making beats. It was him and his uncle, when we were in Iraq, they had this little laptop, and I actually bought that laptop. He had this little tiny laptop.
That was thanks to him.
It was an Acer, and he had free. I'm like, what is that? Oh, yeah, and it was Free Loop 4. He's like, oh yeah, we're making beats. And I'm like, man, so you know I used to tape that? Because when I used to do it, it was tape that. You record it, you play it, you record it, and you could hear the break, you know. But I was like, man, I could do it. And then not only that, then I also had a beat machine, a little small Zoom beat machine, and I still have that too. And I'm like, man, I think I could do that. So I bought his laptop. I think I paid like $400 for this used laptop. Not only that, he had this DJ, what it was called, PC DJ Red. So I wanted to continue DJing because I used to DJ. So I started DJing the party in Iraq. So it was me and him taking turns DJing the party. So once we got back, I started messing with it. I went from Fruit Loop 4 to 5, then 7, then 9, then 10, 11, and I've been there since. But that was like motivation. But the first time that I actually got into the studio was my ex-wife's cousin. He took me. It was in Detroit. He took me to a basement, and they had like a studio set up, and they were playing this beat, and it's going over. And they were having an issue, and I'm listening to him like, I was like, you know what? It would sound better if you do this and this. So he was like, man, I think you got the gift for this, and I'm like, all gassed up, and I'm like, whatever. Nah. And I'm like, okay, whatever. But it was always been in my mind. And then when I saw you could do it in a computer, I was like, man, I have to do that. And then I did it in a computer. Then I started buying equipment that was like wasting money. I'm like, I thought I need this. I need this studio rack. That's what you see in the picture. I need this big mix board and do all the stuff they're doing. And from there, I went to this course in Richmond, and that's how I met my partner as far as RSR Disky, Jeff. And we met each other there. It was in your ear studio. It was a course, a music school, producing. Mm-hmm. And they got different courses. I just wanted them to teach me what I need, so I don't waste my money. That's it. Yeah. I don't need them to show me how to mix, even though they have mix. And some of the stuff I learned was creative because they will give you a song. They'll tell you, hey, you gotta chop it up and put it in a song. I'm like, what? So I'm like, okay. I chopped it. I'm like, wait a minute. Then it sound good. And then else I'm like, oh yeah, I'm liking this. And I learned how to take just a lyric and make it sound like a song. And that's why I say I'm good at listening to song and either find a hook or turn it into a remix.
That's funny because like I said, the producer we're working with, Crooks, he reminds me of that because he's good at putting samples and making them a hook. Yeah. He has like 2-3 tracks he's done. I was like, yo, that goes really hard. Like he reminds me of you when he first started. Like I was like, yo.
One thing I'm noticing is, especially I don't want to say the last few beats, but some beats that I've done last year was that my hooks are sounding like verses and my verses sound like hook. Mm-hmm. So I'll create and say, hey, yeah, this is the hook. And then I'll go to my boy and he'll be like, can you switch it over? And I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right. I'm like, oh, so, all right. So I guess that's you like more sound on a verse than on the hook because the hook has all the sound in it. So I'm like, okay, I guess that's fine, but...
yeah, because I've been switching it up, too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man, you've been switching it from, the flow, and which reminds you of Eminem, which is crazy. It reminds me of especially after listening to his new album, how from the speed and slow, you've been doing that. I was like, wow, it's really good. Yeah, like I said, I look forward. I'm waiting for the next. So it's crazy. Every day this morning, because I get up at 3:30 to go to the gym, I'm like, did he post something? I'm like, damn it, where's part 2? So what I do, the podcast. So if you drop...
Did you hear the new track we put out?
You dropped the new track?
Yeah.
Today? When did I drop it?
I ain't even share because I was like...
Didn't share it.
I didn't see it.
It was yesterday,
It's on SoundCloud.
Oh, yes. I wouldn't know if it's on SoundCloud because I don't get like a message.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to have to check that out. Which is crazy. So when you drop an album or song, I listen to it when I work out. And then depending, like if it's superset, I gotta go back and play the same. It'll be the same song 4 times because I didn't listen to the whole thing. I'm like, damn it, start it over. But I look forward to that. But that was a motivation to, and I guess back to what I said at the beginning, my plans.
Yeah.
So the way I want to do my podcast is where a showcase where you perform live, like on Facebook. So you perform live, and not only that, even bring back a throwback, depend, because not every artist could do it. When I'm throwback, I'm talking about making beats either with my mouth or with my hands, and then you just go,
beatbox, man.
Yeah, well, it was beatbox, and I'm not the best beatbox, but I know it sounds, and that's what we used to do.
It's a basic too, like
And we used to do that in school. We used to just
that's how you started. That's how I started. Dude used to bang on the desk, and I would start freestyling with my boys, and that's how we started.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have anything, man. Like he said it one. It was like, yo, we used to have a tape recorder. Mm-hmm. So somebody would do a beat or with their mouth, beatbox, or on the desk with a pencil, and they would push tape recorder, and then we were all freestyle, and it was like whatever the fuck we said. And I have some tapes still. I don't know where they at, but I know I have find them somewhere.
Man, I wish I kept all my tape.
I listened to them. I was like, what the fuck was I saying?
Especially mixtape. Like, you know, I wish I would have them because it was just, it's not the same now. You know, a lot of the stuff that we have, like there's songs that I'm trying to find that I can never find, and I don't know if it's maybe the artist or the I don't want to say I guess the manager, whoever owns the right, the one put it out on CDs or whatever. But there's songs that I'm like, man, where is this song? And I'm trying to find, and I Google it, I put it, and I can't find. And it's the same thing with a lot of the old stuff that I wish I just kept. But once I went to the military, my mom got rid of all my stuff, so